Perfect. We're going to kick off with the ground briefing. Fire off the first slide. Alright, Bystrica is the area we're going to, for anybody who hasn't figured that out yet. Has thick forestation covering approximately 7% of the territory. The main population centers lie among the river valley and the south end of the region, which is the bottom of this picture. The north is mountainous terrain with a few valleys and lots of foothills. Alright, so that's what we're going to be operating in. Next slide. Situation. The general situation. After the Russian annexation of Crimea, of the Crimea region, formerly the Ukraine, a large number of pro-Russian groups have begun taking up arms against the government in hopes to also be annexed by the Kremlin. Situation enemy. Next slide. Forces in this region call themselves the Green Sea Liberators. They are assessed at battalion strength. The GSL is well equipped by unconfirmed sources. We don't know where their weapons are coming from. They carry Warsaw Pact weaponry and have easy access to Strela AA launchers. That's an important note for you fly fucks. GSL forces field T-55s and converted civilian pickups carrying 50 cal machine guns. Reports of anti-air platforms such as the Zoo have been unconfirmed in the region. Right, and obviously T-55 top left and the general fighters on the bottom right. Division friendly. The CO's intent is to dislodge all GSL forces from the AOR, while preventing future damage to government and public infrastructure. Next slide. Alright, locations of friendly units. Bravo Company. Well, obviously you can see our trace on the left. Bravo Company is doing a center trace. Charlie Company is doing an easterly trace. Everything south of the red is currently Blue 4 controlled. Alright, and our battalion HQ is just off in between the western and central traces. Attachments and detachments. 4 pilots from 439 Combat Support Squadron are tasked under ACoy HQ to provide close air support, transport, resupply, and Kazovac on call. We also have a Pathfinder detachment from Combat Support attached to Alpha Company for this. Next slide. Mission. ACoy will destroy all GSL forces within our trace no later than 3 August 2014 in order to allow government forces to regain control of the region and prevent further conflict. I say again, A Company will destroy all GSL forces within our trace no later than 3 August 2014 in order to allow government forces to regain control of the region and prevent further conflict. Next slide. Execution. My intent is to clear our trace of GSL forces. Next slide. Scheme of maneuver phase 1. We're going to insert at helicopter landing zone or HLZ spunk pot. As you can see on the map. More accurate grids if you can't read them right now. We'll come out with later. Alright. From there, seize control of objective Cooter to the west. Then move up and take a patrol base in the north. At which point, on the next day, we will move down and attack objective Snatch. Alright. Phase 2, next slide. We're going to cross report line meat curtain. And seize objective Slit. And then we're going to move to position south of report line Camel Toe.
Oh, that's classic.
Jesus.
Phase 3, next slide. We're going to cross Camel Toe. And we're going to take objective Clam in the east. In preparation for an assault on objective Rosebud in the west. Main effort is capture of objective Rosebud. The end state is going to be GSL broken and ACoy holding all ground. Alright, groupings and tasks. 1 platoon. You're going to be first in the order of march throughout. Phase 1, you'll secure objectives Cooter and Snatch no later than 13 July 2014. Phase 2, secure objective Slit no later than 20 July 2014. Phase 3, you're going to secure objectives Clam and Rosebud no later than 3rd of August 2014. 439, combat support. Phase 1, provide insertion to HLZ spunk pot via CH-147 with escort. Be prepared to transport late joins and reconnects out to our position after the initial drop. Be prepared to provide resupply and ground assets throughout Phase 1. Be prepared to provide close air support on request, and be prepared to provide CASEVAC during Phase 1. Phase 2, same deal, be prepared to provide transport to late joins and reconnects, provide resupply and ground assets, provide CAS on request, and provide CASEVAC. And that is the same for Phase 3, except be prepared to extract ground forces upon seizure of objective Rosebud during Phase 3. Alright? Pathfinders, they're not here, but when they do insert, they'll recce and secure HL Z Spunk Pot, recce objectives Cooter and Snatch. They'll locate a patrol base for the main force. During Phase 2, they're going to recce Slit and routes north of it. And they're going to locate a patrol base along Report Line Cameltoe. And in Phase 3, they're going to recce objectives Clam and Rosebud and provide spotting for close air support and artillery during assault on Rosebud. Next slide. Alright, coordinating instructions. Control measures. Boundaries, we're limited to what you saw on our trace. Alright, we're staying within that trace. Light discipline, PEC lasers and flashlights are only be used on order. We don't want to light up the fucking ground. These guys do have access to NVGs, they'll see you. ROEs. Number 1, Canadian forces will only use lethal force if there's clear evidence of hostile intent. Hostile intent. Definition: the threat of imminent force by any rebel group, foreign force, terrorist, or other groups against Canadian forces, allied forces, or civilian groups. The on-scene commander reserves the right to neutralize or deter any threat with appropriate force. That could be anybody from a Section 2 IC up, or even if everybody else is dead, some private who just joined last week. Right? Number 2, no high explosive ammunition should be used against civil infrastructure or when risk to civilian or allied militaries is present. Alright, so watch it with the 84 on HEDP. You got plenty of T-55s to shoot, so worry about those. Number 3, artillery is not to be used within 150 meters of civilian populated areas. We want to avoid as much collateral damage as possible. Under no circumstances are civilians to be engaged or held against their will without express authorization from the local government. So if the civvies start to fuck with you, you can't interact with them. Just tell them to piss off. If there's shooting going down, tell them to get down. That's all you gotta do. Number 5, warning shots can be utilized if intent is unknown. Warning shots are to be fired into the ground no closer than 5 meters from persons on foot. If a vehicle is in question, the engine may be disabled by fire if the vehicle presents danger to friendly or civilian personnel. That includes civilian vehicles. If you don't know its intent and it won't stop, put a couple rounds in the engine or pop tire. Open fire policy. You may open fire if 1. Personal safety is threatened in accordance with the ROEs. 2. Protected persons are threatened in accordance with the ROEs. 3. On order. 4. When returning fire. Actions on. Actions on lost comms. Your primary method is to mark your position with red smoke indicating to all other call signs that you've lost communications. Your secondary is to send a runner. Obviously, pilots don't try and send a runner if you're 300 meters above the ground. Actions on lost. Stop. Return to the last RV if we marked one. If you know where it is also an important one. Otherwise, wait and make noise. Don't shoot because you draw enemy, but talk. We can hear you. Alright. Stop smoke if you have it. It doesn't matter what color it is. If we know you're lost, we'll know that's you. If you're killed, respawn timer is going to be an hour for this. If you die, do not cheat the fucking system. Don't quit and then come back in. You're fucking dead for the hour. Right? You're lucky it's not 24 hours like it has been in the past. Okay. Anyone caught cheating the system, you'll be kicked for the night and the following weekend. Alright, just keep the immersion. You're dead. You're dead for an hour. Go have a smoke, go take a shit or whatever, or even fucking just call in a night. It's up to you. Alright? Missed mission. If you miss a mission, the position will not be the same as the rest of the platoon. Persistence is in play. Stay put. Alright? If you're at the last fucking point we were at, then just stay there. The pilots will know that that point exists and will have given them grids for it prior. They will come there to pick up anybody who missed the last week at the beginning. While they're transporting in resupplies or troops who missed completely what was going on. They'll pick you up and insert you with us. Don't run anywhere. Don't try and make your own way because you'll fucking get lost. If the database resets for whatever fucking reason, we have a problem, And your profile does not load properly, meaning that you're standing in front of the tents in fucking combats with a beret. You don't have any of your kit or your positions stored at all. Okay, just kit up as you were, and go to the 439 tent in the camp we're in. It's got a big fucking Tigers patch on the front of it. Go up to it, talk to the pilots, they'll insert you. If you join late, wait at the main camp. 439 will contact ground assets and get instruction. Alright, this is late if you missed all missions. You're going to wait for section commander to come down and tell you what to bring for kit. Alright, if you've already been a member and you joined late, that you've already been on one, you joined late, same deal, wait where you were, and we'll try and get away. We'll find a way to get to you. Just hit us on the radio. If you're more than an hour late, don't fucking bother. We're not wasting our time. Alright, if you're more than an hour late, tough shit, you missed the mission. Because we're not going to distribute assets to pick you up. Actions on disconnect. Okay, at the end of the night, if you gotta leave early, ensure you do the following. Put your helmet into your backpack. Pilots put it back in the helicopter. Alright? Save player data using your live interaction menu. And then use the player exit button. Don't alt F4 your game or abort. Just hit escape and use player exit. Otherwise it won't save your data properly. And the reason the helmet goes in the backpack is because it for some reason does not save headgear. No fucking idea why. Alright, if you have a connection drop, just rejoin again. And it should restore you to where you were. If it doesn't, talk to the fucking pilots, and they'll sort you out. Okay? Service support, next slide. Alright, weapons, they'll be issued as per assigned role with section or platoon. Ammunition, everyone's going to be humping ×2, which is just the kit up script. So you'll have ×2 fucking ammunition. I've tweaked them a little bit. Section commanders, if you have anything to add to them, just let me know at the end of this, and I'll make the amendments as required. Alright, all medical supplies are directed through the company medic. So medics go to the company medic to get more medical supplies. If there's a resupply brought in, he'll control the distribution of it so that it doesn't get fucking torn apart and the medics end up with nothing. Alright, Command and SIGs. This one's going to be kind of new to a lot of you because I've sorted out the frequencies. So, prepare to copy. Alright, Command and SIGs. On the battalion nets, the FAC, forward air controller, is going to be on 80. Pilots, you will also monitor 80. ACoy. ACoy net, 81. One platoon on Crypto Alpha. The platoon net is 31.0 or PRR channel 9. On 1 Alpha, 31.1, PRR channel 1. Bravo, 31.2, PRR channel 2. Charlie, 31.3 or PRR channel 3. Whiskey, 31.4 or channel 4 on the PRR. Don't worry, I'll post this somewhere. Alright, you don't need to know about 2 and 3 platoon because they're not existent. Alright, A Squadron net, your internal net is now 84. I know we're using 40, but it's 84 now. Cool? Alright, I'll give you guys fucking go with 5 minutes. Take a break, come up with any questions you got from the leadership, and we'll do a quick question run here in a sec.
Smoke time.
Where the goddamn is the option? Oh, I gotta get low.
Alright, questions from one platoon, Commander.
Artillery, available, what call signs, and we want me to go through you.
It'll be available through call sign 1. And yes, it is available. What?
You know the
Pathfinders, are they active during the mission?
Depends. It's kind of in the air right now. It might not be there.
I just wanted to know if we were going to be seeing friendly heads pop up the next ridge over kind of thing.
You shouldn't.
Do these have possible ID threats?
Zero ID threat.
Are we going to be updating to XMed 2 before this?
No.
Alright.
Alright, 439, any questions?
What's the name of this op?
Operation Beaver Hunt.
Oh yeah, clashing names by the way.
Beautiful.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Company medic question.
Oh, yeah.
You said that I would be in control of all the medical supplies. Is that just on my person, like carrying extras to hand out?
Oh, you'll have your person, but if there's a resupply and medical supplies come in, you will have control of distribution. They'll have to come to you to get them, so you can keep track of it.
Okay.
Any other questions?
From 3 Section, being a small military force, are we expecting any fortifications in the towns?
No, nothing that's not already there, naturally. There'll be obstacles, there won't be fortifications. Anybody else?
Is there any chance of Russian military intervention?
Zero at this time.
Do we have any idea just how many T-55s they might have got their hands on?
Company minus. Or squadron minus, rather.
I have another question then.
Yep.
The Orbat, we only have 2 84 gunners. Sometimes we'll end up running with 1 due to being short. Are we employing 84s beyond that, or just in weapons depth?
Just in weapons depth. Weapons depth's gonna get resupplied with troops by the end of, well, by Sunday. In some capacity.
Roger.
You guys will be up to 6 before we hit the ground.
And one more question, sorry. Should we be ditching the dual-purpose rounds and bringing all anti-tank?
I've already updated the script to only give you anti-tank.
Okay.
Will any of the days be on in a night scenario?
Depends on how time goes. It's completely persistent. So it depends on what time we start, and it'll save our time throughout. So you could be doing something at night. No, don't ditch your night vision. Anybody got anything else? Cool. Element leaders, if you want a copy of these, fire them to me. Cooley and Orton, I want to see your fragos to your units before the end of the day tomorrow if possible. I know it's kind of last minute, but if you can get a frago out, that'd be great.
I'll try.
Cool. Alright, that's it.